cannot wait for the Seattle tournament to watch these teams go at it.
Bringing back Enable is starting fire.
It's too quick. It's too clean from the Royal Ravens.
New York Subliners, what a comeback!
This is an all-or-nothing change for the LA Guerrillas. Paris Legion starting to mount momentum.
Huntsmen, we're hoping to catch a glimpse of the wall-slaying power this roster truly has to show.
It's a Røkkr victory!
For the first time, OpTic Gaming are going to the finals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is now finally time for the Seattle Home Series Finals. It's been a long and wonderful weekend, but now it is time. CDL Game Day presented by Game Fuel, and we have got an absolute banger for you, friends. The London Royal Ravens going up against the Chicago Huntsmen. A big surprise on one side of that board for some, but for the Chicago Huntsmen, I think another day in the office for them. This is really going to be a special one. We're very, very excited to get into this one. My name is Miles Ross, and I'll be one of the commentators taking you through this one. My partner in crime, the guy over that way, it is of course going to be Momo and Nameless joining us as ever. Gentlemen, welcome to what is going to be a very, very fun finals.
I'm excited to be here. Obviously, some interesting results throughout the weekend. I think a lot of people were looking at the Huntsmen on paper. They should be in the finals. But I think there was so many names chucked out there, Miles, of who would be there with them. You know, we heard Seattle, Minnesota. London really wasn't one of those teams. New York as well. But down to our last two teams. Europe's best, North America's obviously one of best, maybe the best that are here. But Miles, I'm so excited to get into this.
Pretty pumped indeed. You know, we have a lot of stuff to get through here, friends. Of course, you know, it's a very, very exciting day for Call of Duty. We have a wonderful finals here, but we also have drops for the very, very first time ever in Call of Duty history. Nameless is pretty cool, man. Right? It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, you've seen a lot of people tweeting about it already, how close they are to getting the drops that they wanted and stuff like that. I just hope we continue to have it. I think this is something we've all been waiting for, and for it to finally be here, especially on CDL Sunday, it's an incredible time. I'm excited to be a part of it.
Not only did we showcase the first ever private lobby in Warzone history with Warzone Weekend earlier today, but right now the league is in beta testing its rewards program. That's right, viewer rewards are here for good. That means you're going to set up you're going to get in-game XP tokens and exclusive Call of Duty League team items while you enjoy all the CDL action on Sunday. Learn how to sign up for the program and start earning your in-game rewards. Go to callofdutyleague.com right now and don't miss out on those free in-game items. I know I've got, I think I'm up to the Seattle Surge screen already. Yeah, I'm up to the Seattle Surge emblem. I'm ready to roll, man. I'm going to be flexing as much as I possibly can. And it's so cool to see this. This is the beginning. I mean, where do we go from here? It's amazing to have this integration available. Pretty pumped. Had to check that out just to make sure, because I'm flexing on Momo already. He got here late. Sucks to suck, Phil.
Yeah, I think in the future we're gonna have Miles' beard as an emblem. So I'm excited for that one for the next event.
We just get like an egg, just Clint's head that hangs off the side of your weapon. I would love that. We talked about that in the beginning, being incredible.
We did.
We do have a very, very cool final ahead of us, guys. And again, I think for a lot of fans, the London Royal Ravens being here was a bit of a shock. They were a dark horse pick to begin with, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And for a team like the London Royal Ravens as well, I mean, this is a huge opportunity to get those ever valuable CDL points and again climb those standings, because they had a bit of a rough start to the start of the league. And how important those points are, we're finding out now again with that huge reveal of the CDL Championship. Nameless, man, it's never been so important to get those points and try to climb that ladder.
Well, it's huge. You know, we were talking about New York, OpTic Gaming LA, the Royal Ravens. Like, any of those teams, if they were to win this event, it would have put them in a position where they're in contention for top 4, right? So Royal Ravens right now have an incredible opportunity to get some more points, move on up there, because you want to be top 4. Like, realistically, you want to be first and second, but third and fourth start off in a great place in the bracket as well. You're automatically seeded into round 2 of the winners bracket. So that's everything. Being that far, already in the money at the COD championships, that's huge.
Yeah, it's insane. Just to think, Momo, that you can win, what, 2 series and you're looking at a grand final already. I mean, that's $2 million, the most insane money. We've said it countless times now on this broadcast. Life-changing money for these players. $2 million, man. I mean, I don't know where to start with that kind of money, let alone when I'm like 21, 23 years old.
It's wild, and I know some of these pro players, they like to splash the cash and, you know, buy some fancy things, but that kind of money is life-changing. And just going back to the point that you were making about how important this is, obviously we've got Huntsmen and Ravens now in the final. We all kind of knew Chicago Huntsmen. They were top 3. They were still kind of getting 20 points per home series. Ravens have struggled a lot. The last 4 home series, I know 2 of which they didn't play at, but they've only taken 10 points away in total. Their total is what? I think 50 out of absolutely everything.
Yeah,
they
so
have the chance to double
70.
that. But they have, from coming into this tournament to going out of this tournament, they join the higher ranks. They start to catch up to the likes of Minnesota Røkkr, take over the likes of Mutineers. So it just makes it a lot more exciting. So I feel like this is a very much kind of season-changing game for Ravens. I mean, Huntsmen, I feel that these guys will make a couple more finals. Ravens, though, hopefully, you know, of course, for the UK fans, they will too. But a big game coming up for these boys.
Yeah, it's been a wild weekend, especially for these teams that have made team changes. Again, the substitutes. Outside of Seattle's performance, every single team that has made a substitution has, what, let's face it, wound up in the finals now. Nameless, can you give us any insight as to what it's like to make a team change this big? I mean, 5v5 is one thing, but to add a new player to a roster, what kind of change can that make to a team?
It could change the entire dynamic if you pick up the right player. And it looks like London has done that. You know, Jared was underperforming. It wasn't what the team needed. They pick up Trey, Zero, who's come in and he's leading the way in KD individually. Like, this guy's just been getting enough kills to open up a map for players like Dylan. It changes the entire dynamic of your team and allows players to play better. You know, previously it'd be Weskin just going off, dropping 1.3s, 1.4s, and the rest of the guys wouldn't be playing that great. Well, adding Trey to the team has given them a boast of teamwork. So it's been great so far for them.
Yeah, really great so far from them. As you saw in the bracket there, no team has managed to take the Huntsmen to a game 5, but these two teams have been very, very closely contested so far in the Call of Duty League. And again, they've only met once, I think, before, and it was that infamous clip of Dylan's camera falling shortly after that matchup. Again, a very exciting series nonetheless. We may be getting a repeat of that one, but we'll see if the shoe will be on the other foot this time. Momo, I mean, this has been close, right? This has been a good series. I mean, they're 15-4 and they're 8-8 in match records overall, but in terms of how these teams match up against each other right now, this could be a very interesting series.
Yeah, most certainly so. And I think you look at the numbers and you're going to edge towards the Huntsmen. I think you're going to look at everything and edge towards the Huntsmen. You heard Ben and Chance at the end of it. Chance kind of saying, you know, I'm leaning towards the Huntsmen. I think if you're kind of making that prediction, rightfully so. The Ravens have been pushed to game 5 twice already in this tournament. They've come up clutch and they've won their S&Ds, which has been fantastic for them. But again, you know, Huntsmen haven't even been pushed to that limit. So going into this, I think you certainly have your favorite. I think you're looking at two very strong teams with a very tweaked roster. Interesting point you made, obviously, with making these substitutes and these guys coming in. They could be in what we call the kind of honeymoon period. But for me, it's which team's going to stay consistent. You know, which team is going to make this change and continue to grow and grow and grow and be that better squad. You've seen it with OGLA, with the Subliners. One thing I found very interesting is a lot of these subs have actually been positive. You know, percentage-wise, pretty much every sub has made a big impact on these rosters.
They really have. Before we get into any further discussion, boys, we're going to take a quick trip down memory lane. Now, the Call of Duty League offers the highs to the highs and the lows to the lows to a lot of their players. This was the last time Dylan matched up against the Chicago Huntsmen, and you could feel the passion. His camera certainly did.
Our season gunless, they find the kills. Dylan is still here. They got to take him down. They got to take him down now. They need every single second besides 2 to close this game out. London, are they in a position to do so? Envoy plays through middle. Envoy again with 3 kills. Are they going to get the tick? That is the question. That is the question right now.
They got it!
Coming
They
through.
got it!
It does. They got the tick.
If they don't get that tip,
off.
Joe, I don't know. That might have been wild if they don't get that final point. Oh my God, I was so worried that flip was going to cost them and it was going to be another blunder on Cave, but the final point goes through. They close it out at Town Center, and Huntsmen are able to take the series.
As we say, the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. You can truly see how much these games mean to these players. I mean, it says it all on Weskin's face. And now a chance for real redemption here in the Seattle home series finals for London Royal Ravens. I think for the fans, it'd be absolutely remarkable to see that. But their opponent could not be any more challenging. And again, look at the road that the Chicago Huntsmen have taken to get here. No one, Nameless, has pushed them to anywhere near defeat.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some close maps, but we've seen them improve throughout the entire tournament. If you think back to their first match versus the Legion, Pristini didn't have the best first showing, and then after that versus the Røkkr, he was incredible. We've seen players like Envoy step it up. Formal's having a marvelous tournament. He's been playing extremely disciplined, doing exactly what he needs to do for these players on his team. They've gotten better and better, and that's scary seeing these guys in a final when they're on point like this. When Formal and Scump are on point and they get to that final, like, they're going to take over.
Yeah, man, we talk about the Chicago Huntsmen like the Saiyans, man. They get stronger after every single fight. I mean, that hasn't been the case for a long time for Chicago. I mean, they've obviously gone through some woes, but Pristini, I mean, is he truly the game changer right now for the squad?
I think so. I think Pristini's he's come in and given them a new look. I think the vibes are there. And they've entered that honeymoon phase that every team enters. When you think about it, RC's and Pristini, they just won a world championship together. The vibes are there. Like, Pristini didn't have his brother with him on that Florida team, you know, and he had just won a championship with him, like, for the first time ever. So, like, they want to be together on the same team, and now they're back in full force with some of the best players in Call of Duty history alongside them. The vibes are there. They're in a great position.
And a great position indeed. Well, let's take a quick look at a video piece now of one half of the Twins in the Seattle Home Series Finals matchup. It's a little video piece about Scraps and Wuskin of the London Royal Ravens.
Who wants to do more talking?
I'll do it. He does the most talking. Where do we even start? We had nothing at one point. Yeah, before all this, we had nothing. My mum did everything she could for us. She's worked hard all her life. Still does. She still does. She makes like minimum wage, struggling to pay bills, struggling to put food on the table, but what me and Bradley are here, this wouldn't be a thing without my mum, 100%. Whereas now we're making, the figures are scary, it makes me stutter. That was we took a big step over the years, that's for sure. When I wasn't on his team, I couldn't sit and watch him play. When I beat him, it felt horrible, but when he beat me, he felt horrible. Who won the last time we played? We beat each other twice, so... Ask him where I beat him last. So I beat you twice, you beat me twice. Champs. Who's got more prize money? Where? Who has more prize money? What?
Twins, Scraps, Wuskins. Those stats are incredible that these guys are putting up. Good to see these guys go back together.
Yeah, back on the same team, back chilling. Yeah, it's really good to be back playing with him, obviously, it's a blessing.
Oh my goodness!
Me and my brother being on the same team, sometimes we don't communicate because we already know what each other's going to do. It's sort of weird. It sounds weird. We don't say things. True.
Whether it's Scraps or Wuskin, the Marshall Twins back at it again.
We was younger. He got hit, I wasn't with him, and I felt it. It was the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me. We've got it a few different times, remember it? Within a minute, I just know this. I felt stuff before that he's felt. It's weird.
It's 1v1's going to decide it all! Wuskins, you dirty boy!
I'll never ever sit here and say I'm better than my brother. I'm not better than him in any way, shape or form. I'm not better than him. We're equal. That's why we're twins. We appreciate what we have today. It's changed my life completely, and same with him. Playing on the same team as him, representing London, you couldn't ask for much more in life.
We said before the series, like, we need to make a statement. We've got nothing to lose.
To be involved in such a big league, such big stakes, I mean, it's really exciting. We got the whole of the UK behind us, so that's a good. That's like a good drive to have.
The Marshall Twins, there is quite frankly nobody like them on the planet. We do love to have them here in the league, what characters they are. Momo, give me some love to Scraps, man. He's been outstanding this tournament, helping London get those big wins. What are your quick high-level thoughts on him?
I think for Scraps, the story of these twins, he's always been kind of the one in the, the limelight, for the whole career until this game came out. And I think what really kind of set him apart was, seeing Wuskin kind of almost take that limelight off him at the start of this whole CDL 2020 and kind of relish in that. He's loving the success that his brother is now finding. And now you see that in that content piece that no one's better than each other. They're equal. They see themselves on the same page. They're on the same team. But Scraps, I feel, is that vocal leader. He's the one that's going to stand up and scream. Maybe not as much in your bedroom, but I feel like he is that energy that goes through that whole London Royal Ravens team.
I still think they're getting pretty hype. Nameless, tell me a bit about Wuskin. I mean, honestly, since the game started, he's been incredible. Oh, quick Nameless.
Wuskin has been great. I mean, he's had a 1.29 for the entire season. This is his best game ever, and he's trying to get that championship.
He really is, and I think there's a really good chance they could get it done here, but they do have to still get through the Chicago Huntsmen. Still, adding another championship, adding another big win to the pile would be a great thing for them, but again, for the London Royal Ravens, the task really begins now. It's been a long road to get here at this point in the tournament for them. Now the greatest opponent they will possibly face yet. When we come back after this break, almost ready to get into the Seattle Home Series Finals, the London Royal Ravens going up against the Chicago Huntsmen. Don't go anywhere.
The US Army. What's your warrior? Tournament audio and team chat listen-ins are brought to you by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix-amp of the Call of Duty League. Join the Astro family and pre-order the CDL A40TR headset and Pro Team speaker tags today at astrogaming.com. Call of Duty League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Game Fuel, the official energy drink of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. It's Seattle Home Series Finals time, and we're almost ready to get into this matchup, so we won't waste too much more of your time, although I know some of you are grinding for the drops there, and don't worry, you'll have ample time to get that done a little bit later on, but we're going to quickly dive into our Game Fuel keys to victory in just a moment. Again, this is finals time. The London Royal Ravens going up against the Chicago Huntsmen, and it is going to be a very fun one. We have waxed lyrical long enough about how this match could go down. Let's see what these teams need to really do to bring home the bacon here. Nameless, you've been helping us through these since they began, the Game Fuel keys to victories. I mean, mate, what are you thinking now for Chicago? Walk us through that, mate.
Limit the damage early in Search and Destroy. In the last series, London was incredible in Search and Destroy versus OpTic Gaming LA. On defense, they were getting a ton of first bloods, so they're going to have to take it slow and look for Shawnee and Dylan. Those are the playmakers on the team. They were flying early in the round, so I'll be looking out for Chicago to limit that damage.
Yeah, we did really see some sneaky stuff out of Shawnee and Dylan going up against OGLA earlier on in the day. Tell us a little bit about what London need to do outside of keeping those boys very sneaky.
Yeah, so far so good for London. They've been having a balanced attack as opposed to previous events when Weskin was dropping a 1.3 and people weren't helping him out. Everybody needs to continue to feed off of Dylan's speed and hardpoint. They have a 1.07 overall team KD. That means every single player is contributing. The teamwork is there. The trades are there. They need to continue to do that because they're going up against some of the most talented players in Call of Duty history. In Respawn, it has to be on point. The teamwork's got to be there.
Well, there you go, your Game Fuel keys to victory. Thank you very much for that. Nameless against CDL Sunday here, presented by Game Fuel. We cannot show enough love to Game Fuel, frankly, and as you see on your screen, the players are ready to rock and roll. We've heard what the Marshall twins like to listen to before they get into these games, and Momo, this is it, mate. It's Judgment Day for one of these squads.
Yeah, it really is, and of course we've already had Huntsmen, take a title. London are looking for their first one, and I think this is very exciting for both teams and obviously both fan bases as well. But there can only be one winner.
You can indeed. Well, Nameless, brother, we thank you very much for that chit chat. It's now time to get into the game.
Enjoy, bros.
We will, brothers. So here we go, straight to Ramaza. This is the map that the London Royal Ravens took OGLA out of and pushed it to that game 5, and here we go. Actually, no, it was OGLA won that one. That was insane. We were talking about how commentators called that one a little too early, but hey, we'll see if that happens here. If we see if we can Mystic Mega way through this one, get our crystal ball out and predict the future. But here we are, off to the races. The Seattle Home Series Finals is now underway.
Yeah, and straight away we're into Hardpoint, we're into Ramaza, and you know, we'll break down the stats a little bit, but I want to focus on this break and how these teams kind of come out the blocks here, because it's such an important momentum swing, if you like, especially if you're spawning on this left-hand side of the minimap. That, of course, is going to be the London Royal Ravens here, and Shorty on your screen has had some ups and downs this tournament, but it's all in the past. All that matters right now is turning up right here, right now.
Yeah, turning up indeed, but they're not really getting much room to work with. Chicago Huntsmen, off to a nice early start, commanding the kill feed and putting bodies in that hard point very effectively. Pristini finding multiple there. Envoy was the point man. Now Scump on screen, taking care of that hard point time, providing covering fire for his squad as well. Looking towards next rotations, though, is going to be London. Again, a fantastic start for the Huntsmen here in Ramaza.
Yeah, great start, and obviously soaking up all this time at the beginning is, of course, going to give you that kind of mental fortitude to kind of push forward and get that confidence going. And straight away, Pristini, I tell you what, this is a sneaky play. He's popped that dead silence. He's already in, and this is where London may think they've got the rotation, but they've actually not. There is one person, that person being Pristini. How much of an influence can he be? As the door gets barged down, Dylan smells something funny, and Pristini is going to fall.
Truly disgusting, as per usual from Dylan. Incredible work so far in the tournament. Gets team this far. There's been plenty of memes online, but at the end of the day, here we are in the finals. Shawnee on your screen, trying to put in the work up close, not able to get too much done as Pristini leads the charge there. Up next is going to be Scraps. One half of the Marshall twins letting their MP5 ring out there in the electronics store. Quick contest as we see that 30-second clock go by. Envoy with a nice kill there as he comes through the smoke. But London will still retain control for now. They have to make their way across mid-map. But it looks like Huntsmen, a lot of presence there preventing the rotation.
Yeah, and you see the Huntsmen kind of go for that final push, and it doesn't work out for them, so the rotation will be hit. Scump just trying to cut off things in the middle. We're going to see Envoy actually go down in the middle as rotation will set in. And ironically enough, Pristini's challenged for the final 5 seconds, and he's not even going to keep it. He's going to rotate over. I think that is the smart thing to do. He needs to regroup and make a calculated defense here. A 0. Up and above will fall. That time it's going to be Formal. Keep your eyes on that battle. That assault rifle is ringing here for Formal. 11 kills already for Scump. He's kind of a player which will turn into a different beast on a CDL Sunday as well.
Yeah, we're talking about different beasts. Currently 4 and 10 for Zero, the new addition to the London Royal Ravens roster. And a great early rotation here from the Huntsmen. They win their gunfights. Now they're going to be reaping the rewards of this early time. 80 points and climbing. Scump still on an absolute rampage. 12 and 5. Finally put to rest there. 30 seconds remaining here on the barbershop, and you don't really have to worry about giving up spawns or even flipping them out because London have barely been able to touch it. This is the first chance they've had. They have been very ineffective on this attack. 20 seconds remain now, and it's looking to go all the way of the Huntsman. If Scraps can't do something about it, he's gone up against Scump. Matter of seconds now before we see those rotations go down, and it's looking good for the Royal Ravens at the time, but I mean, the clock is just so dominant right now. Huntsman leading this final fantastically so far.
Yeah, there is a big rotation going down over to construction. This is a hard point which you can soak a lot of time up for. The kill feed there, Scraps and Wuskin, the twins, of course, lighting that one up for now. As Wuskin will drop down, find another, and a safety trophy system goes out. Scraps finds himself on a 5-kill streak, but the Huntsmen have been lights out so far. Scraps on a little bit of a runaway, a little bit of a tear here, it seems. He's just playing on his own and obviously feeling himself. 13 and 9, leading the lobby here in kills, now on 14, just overtaking Scump, and on a 7-kill streak. This is what you want to see from Matty Marshall.
Yeah, he's really starting to heat things up. 7 kills in a row. Still has that dead silence to work with, but Scump, fantastic timing there to catch the kill. And Envoy now clearing up players in hardpoint. The Huntsmen, it was a little bit dire for a few moments there, but they have managed to maintain that solid lead on the rotation now over towards Ruins as well. They did have a player in position, but London now answering back quickly. Formal trying to get his boys back into the position as they try to contest this next hardpoint. Envoy's 5 spree taken care of there in the back end, and we've seen Pristini get the remaining hardpoint time. So very clinical approach so far from the Huntsmen. Don't really seem to have any weaknesses thus far that London can exploit.
And again, this is a nice positioning from the Huntsmen. This is almost one of those pushes where it's going to be hard for the Huntsmen just to get control, but when they do, they will get, of course, that power position over the sandbags, and that's if they do. But look at number 5. 5 is the key one for me. It's Pristini. He's just out and about at the moment, and he is going to be setting up some type of pinch. 2 players are going to be spawning out as Scraps, and the company will push forward. The spawns will get flipped, and again, that power position that I talk about, those sandbags right there that Wuskins is holding as of this moment, it is game-changing. And just like that, the Huntsmen, they failed to keep hold of that. I thought that's something that they would be able to do. I thought wrong, Miles. In the last 25 seconds, more than likely going to be going towards the Ravens, but it will be contested a little bit. That's going to be Envoy still out and about as we see Wuskin finally fall. The 13 seconds will dwindle between the two teams, and the Huntsmen will finalize that as the Ravens set up once more for rotation.
Yeah, I mean, where the Huntsmen are getting those early rotations, they're getting the first time and the last times of these hard points. London seeming to struggle to find anything really going here. 136 leading that 94. A chance now for a bit of a comeback. Beautiful shots down range from Formal there as he tries to open up this hard point, allow the submachine guns forward. But once again, through the smoke, it's Dylan. An Envoy, though. Plot twist. He's in behind. Manages to slow the push there and keep London guessing. Great work out of him. And again, inverted audio. You heard that correctly. He also heard it correctly, but had to turn his brain upside down to make that one work. Incredible that he can even do that. But still, 30 seconds remaining here on Bridgefield. London trying to keep this competitive, but it just seems like Huntsman are one step ahead every time.
Yeah, map 2, I might turn my headset the other way around, see how it feels for myself. But 40 points in the lead, it doesn't seem to be affected them at all. I will say the Slain is most certainly favouring the Huntsmen, just by a slight bit, but those slight margins make big differences and little changes. Oh my, Shawnee there, finally taking down Envoy. On the flip side of things, Scraps as well shutting down Prestini. But a big margin now gathered by the Huntsmen. They dominated the top catwalk, and over towards this second hard point, we are going to see Shawnee and the boys try and hold it for the Ravens. But, and I say a big but here, a pinch coming through. Zero finding 2 on the flank. Can he find the third? Not going to happen as Formal shuts him down with an MP5, and we're going to see Huntsman now start to pinch on it.
Yeah, opens another lane of attack that the Huntsman can try to hit the spawns that London have right now. 45 seconds remaining once again. Electronic shot goes to London. Huntsman now trying to make their way forward. Formal just taken down there by the Marshall combo. Scraps leading the charge up front as well, and that was a bit of crossfire coming in from Wasson. So again, those twins putting in the work, trying to pull this back for the London Royal Ravens. Meanwhile, Zero and Dylan lock down the electronic shop. It's a good hold all round. Scum, though, not quite finished yet as he tries to continue the pressure. But Huntsmen, they can kind of let this go. They've still got a lot of hardpoint time to work with. They may lose a little bit out here on the scoreline, but what was a 60-point game, Phil, is now starting to pull ever so closer after a big hold there on P2 from London.
Yeah, and coming into this, by the way, as well, we saw London have a bit more repetition on this map and mode with 6 times, but they've only won it twice. They've actually lost it 4 times. Chicago, they've played it 3, and the only team they've lost it to is the Dallas Empire. So again, kind of take that with a pinch of salt here. Repetitions, results, which one do you want to favor? Right now, all I'm looking at is that top middle hand of your screen. 175 plays 157. As we see Dylan on a 5-killing spree. That's Dylan, of course, not Envoy. As we see the battle of the twins, the battle of the Dylans. I tell you what, this is the battle of the beast right here, as Europe taking on North America in the final here of the CDL Sunday. 188 plays 157. And Miles, it's a small lead, but it feels like the Huntsmen have been in the lead for a large majority of this whole match.
Oh yeah, they haven't let it go. They've not let the lead go whatsoever. They're playing this very smart still, even with London's solid work there on second hardpoint, even back there towards, you know, that third. It was a good look, but now we're going to rotate back over towards construction site, and we've got number 4 in position. Scumpy, ready in wait, in for the next hard point. London have mid-map presence and control now. They're going to try to flood on over as Envoy finds the final 10 seconds, and again, pushes the Huntsmen ever closer to a map 1 win here in the Seattle home series final. Scraps, just trying to take care of this one player. It is going to be Scump, somewhere in about the site. They have to sniff him out, try to find him, and there it is. Someone has managed to get a bit of a whiff of information there. They're going to try to get the kills there. Scumpy, he will be playing as an absolute foil to their hold right now if they can't get the kill into him. He's still up there, so he's going to play by this time, wait for the play to happen, let his reinforcements show up, and here come the Huntsmen.
Oh my, Arcetes, that's 5 in a row for Arcetes, a 6-kill streak for him as he walks in and takes down London piece by piece, and that could have been the break that the Chicago Huntsmen just needed here as Dylan rifles back into the hard point. The smoke's going down. I don't think he can see much more than we can, but the rotation will come through. Nobody can win it here, but it looks like the Ravens, they are going to get those last 15 points. Huntsmen, though, Miles, they are fully set up on this next hard point.
Yeah, ready to roll. I mean, this is it. This is the end of the first map if we don't see something special come out of London here. 31 kills for Arcetes. He got 31 kills for Scraps. Both teams are racing towards a big win here. Envoy cut to ribbons there, but Arcetes once again looking to add a couple more kills to the pile. He finds one. Shawnee answers back straight away. Now it falls to the assault rifles. It's going to fall now to Formal to hold this long lane. Great position to be in. He's going to find one, and oh boy, almost gets the second. Zero just cutting him out, but there's so many reinforcements nearby right now for the Huntsmen. Prestini and Scum lighting things up. Arcetes able to get one more with surviving, and look at this, Phil. We're 10 seconds away now for the win for Huntsmen.
A versatile player in Arcetes, 33 and 24. He's used the MP5, then 4, everything in between, and with 4 seconds left, no one even close to coming through as the Huntsmen are going to take map number 1. I'm very, very interested to see the stat line at the end of this one. The Huntsmen, again, they were just in the lead. I would say, I don't even know if Ravens actually held the lead at any time, I'll be completely honest. It wasn't a large lead. I think the largest was maybe 60 points, but it was consistency. And consistency sometimes is a key factor. As we look at those stats, we have a look across the board. It was a slow game for Shawnee at 17, as for Wuskin at 16, but big bombs dropped for RSTs at 33, scraps just behind at 32, and of course, kills don't mean everything, but they do help, Miles.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, as a perspective from the Chicago Huntsmen, they were on the front foot every single moment they could possibly be. I mean, they were winning rotations outside of maybe second hard point, the electronic shot down low. They were basically on first seconds every single time, and with that, I mean, you're getting the first seconds in, you're getting a nice chunk of time to begin with. London don't have the chops necessarily to break those hard points to Ramaza as effectively, so there's a bit of a contest in the middle, and then they would get the time at the end as well. So Huntsmen doing what a great job just to keep the lead from start to finish there, about 50 points separating them in the end, and honestly at times it was close, but Huntsmen, they just ran Ramaza so well. Definitely a weak spot there for London. Still, good start to the series.
Yeah, going into this, it wasn't, you know, a map mode that these guys were particularly well known for. Again, I'm not sure if they kind of felt better with Zero. Of course, some of those stats aren't with him. But nevertheless, they simply got outslayed overall by about 10, which in the grand scheme of things, when you got 10 players on the battlefield, isn't a lot, Miles, over that time period. But each kill matters, and again, some kills more than others. Those rotational plays from Huntsman were pretty spot on, so well done to them.
Yeah, really spot on indeed. And again, coming up next, going to be an Arcloth Peak Search and Destroy. Going to be very fun to watch that one. Cannot wait. Before we do get into that one, we have the Quick Scope brought to you by the US Air Force coming up shortly. And then, of course, maps and modes. You get to see the overview of the entire series here at the Seattle Series Home Finals. And it's going to be a good field. We called it before. And that Quick Scope, again, pretty closely contested, you know, in most regards. That hardpoint KD, I think, being bolstered by the performance of Wuskin of the London Royal Ravens there, but it's the domination. That's where they're seeing the biggest disparity, and I will say the Huntsmen can have a clear-cut favorite going into that map number 3.
Yeah, most certainly so. And before we kind of talk map 3, I want to talk map 2, Arcloth Peak S&D. The Huntsmen are 4-1 on this one. Again, the only team that has beat them on this is the Dallas Empire. So Huntsmen, they're not no walk in the park on Arcloth Peak. I will be interested to see how the Ravens go about their strategy on this one. But if we see it, and I'm sure we will, of course, see one gun runner, it's whether we're going to see 2 if we get pushed to that final 5th map. Ravens have won 2 map 5s in the Seattle home series so far. They could chalk it up with a nice 3rd there to win out the whole thing, but a long way to go, one step at a time. And coming up next, of course, is S&D on Arcloth Peak. So hopefully we get to see some snipers out and about, maybe in the hands of Wuskins. But all in all, Miles, excited for this one. But Huntsmen, they certainly were the better team on the hard point, leading the line for the large majority of it.
No, absolutely. It was a great hold from start to finish. We're going to look at the roster cards in a moment, starting with the lovely lineup of the Chicago Huntsmen. But Chicago, I mean, this is a roster, man, that on paper, to begin with, before Pristini joined the squad, this was an absolute god squad from top to bottom. We knew this was going to be a force to be reckoned with from the very beginning, from the absolute onset of the Call of Duty League. And now they're starting to find that form. I mean, Pristini could well be the missing piece that they really needed in order to just build that consistency, build that true pace. And it's unusual to not find that in Gunless, but alas, the change has been made, and we're already seeing those results.
Yeah, and again, when it comes to head-to-head, Hannon versus Henderson, Sanderson versus the Marshalls, and T2P versus the world, it seems, at this point. Chicago, they have that fan base, but I tell you what, the Ravens have a few themselves, and they'll be looking for victory here. It's been such a long time, Miles, such a long time since anyone but the North Americans could kind of lift that trophy, theoretically speaking, or that championship. But again, Huntsmen, they look so strong with this new look roster. They look very, very comfortable. The biggest difference for me, honestly, seeing the consistency of Formal back in action is great, because he is kind of one of the best players in the world, without a doubt, and that's been across many, many years. And just to see him just kind of back to his best and not kind of frustrated, it is good to see as well.
Yeah, the real vibe check there is working out. Pristini's added a certain level of calm serenity to the squad.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Seems to be working out. Here we go. Arcloth Peak Search and Destroy, a fan favorite. Definitely a talent favorite. We do love to watch a bit of Arcloth. Big map. Really suits the 5-on-5. Here we go. Off to the races immediately for London. Looks like they're going to power their way through middle. They had great success against OpTic Gaming with their strategy, but Pristini has made a bit of a read. Envoy there, just through the crack of the door. Formal finds one off screen, and oh boy, London have had their wings clipped here. The Huntsmen are going to get it done, and Waskin's going to give him a helping hand here. That is a fantastic way to start the search and destroy. Wow.
Yeah, again, I want to point out 2 players, Scump and Dylan. These are 2 players I want you to keep your eyes out for. Again, one for Huntsmen, one for Ravens. These have been kind of outstanding players when it comes to Arklov S&D, so keep your eyes out on those. The stat line says everything, but what a round for Huntsmen. I didn't even get to jump into any type of gameplay. It was over before we even begun. And again, just kind of continuing as you mean to go on. Great stuff, Chicago.
Yeah, they read the aggressive play right through mid. No sweat whatsoever. See what the Huntsmen now bring on offense. We're watching Waskins typically sniping. There it is for the London Royal Ravens on defense. Very common spot. It's likely he'll be here, but it just depends on how the Huntsmen decide to adapt to this. 4-man push now as they make their way through towards A. It's going to be that lone player, Formal, playing the island over towards that B site. Here we go, the push through middle from Envoy. Dead silence activated. You will hear no mud. You will hear no noise as he makes his way in closer. And Waskins with that first blood.
Yeah, Waskins picking up that first blood. Very crucial. This smoke, though, out and about, and I think a few team shots came through, but it's Waskin and Scraps who find the first 2 kills. Scump answers back before Dylan and Waskin add to the mix, and it is all down to Formal. He's getting tickled from the side here, and he's going to get away with his life for now, but I don't think for much longer. A very convincing round here, and not to speak too soon, but good night, Formal.
Gets it done.
Waskin with 3.
We find ourselves tied up. Great work again with that smoke. I believe it was Chicago Huntsman's smoke as they try to push in forwards, try to take in the bottom floor of the hotel there. That little stone wall. There's a circular stone wall that players find themselves in. Really common spot. Very, very power position when it comes to applying pressure on these players coming in from A.
Yeah.
And Ravens played the smoke so well there.
Yeah, beautifully done. 2 very interesting rounds. I'm sure more to come as well, but Waskin finding 3. Keeps Ravens in it here as we jump back on board with London and now pushing forward. And we'll be watching that line of sight. The smoke is going to give Chicago some covering for now, but of course that will dwindle away and just a whisker away from a player there. I'm not sure who it was, but Waskin on one end trying to find players. Scraps on the other will find 2, but Scump has answered back with the M4. It is now a 4v3.
And he just charges right through middle, finds himself 2. Scump's going to slow this down. Saw the shots at long range, pushes what looks to be 0 back. Waskin's trying to bring that sniper forward, but Ravens now making their way in towards the site. 1 man per site on the defense. 0 now going for it. Scump can't quite make it happen in time. Now it all falls down to Formal still playing B. 1v4. Try to take a couple with him, hopefully. Big shots, quick slide, reposition, and again you can see he's fighting fit no matter what situation he's in. Formal will go down. The Royal Ravens will take their 2nd round in a row.
And it's interesting to see kind of the Ravens play S&D because not much has changed since the roster change. But the little tiny tweaks, you know, we see Waskin doing the same stuff, sniping, going into, you know, top house or peeking over certain alleyways. It's very much similar. But the difference for me, what's changed, is on the aggressive side of the Ravens. And again, keep your eyes out on more of the offenses. But as we switch sides, let's check out Huntsman here. Obviously adding such a fast and aggressive player like Prestini. He's already found himself 2 kills in this S&D. But Scump, start of this one, I think he's sat nearly at a 1.5 KD on S&D Arklov peak, so certainly one to look out for if you want to learn how to play, learn and watch the pros. It's a long shot from Waskin. An Envoy will find the answer to that with that M4.
He does. Great shots, though. Still, it's a 4v3 right now. London with the advantage. Prestini trying to find something through mid, just trying to secure middle of the map, allow his teammates to make it in a B. We're going to see that bomb slowly but surely transition across in the hands of Envoy. He will be the delivery man as he makes his way in towards A slowly. Prestini's in a great spot here to possibly catch Oni, who runs out of that B site, goes through the middle of the map, tries to catch that broken house there through the middle as well.
I mean, Prestini's just covering so much of the map right now. Again, even with the audio checks, you know, he can hear every single movement going through on his right-hand side near the house. He can see that no one's pushing through the middle. It gives Envoy the clear to maybe come and regroup with him, but... oh, and here it is. Prestini more than likely has made the call. Dylan under pressure. will get picked off by Prestini here as they break on through. The breach and clear has commenced. The bomb is going down with time ticking away. It looks like that bomb is clear to add another 30 seconds. Now up to 45. Shawnee in trouble with Scump and a 3v4 down to a 3v2. The Huntsmen coming out fighting here as Scraps denies Envoy and levels the playing field.
Scraps has still got Dead Silence activated. Scump finds his second kill on the defense here. Now it's a 1 versus 2. Scraps peeks window. He may have just seen a gun there. Here he comes, but he's never going to win that 1v2. The comms from the Huntsman just too good. Tied up 2-2. Props to Prestini.
Big clutch for the Huntsman.
Mate,
yep,
Prestini's mid-map position, get the final kill. You name it, man. Great round from him.
And we talked about it, and the reason, obviously, him being there, you know, the impact of a player sometimes. He was in the middle, again, just sat or laying prone still. But you could hear all those audio checks and all those kind of initials. He knew where 2-3 players were, and he made that call for these guys to get over here, and it was a strong rotation. A was not the play, and B worked out for the Huntsman. RST still sat on 0, as is Shawnee, but plenty of time to turn that around.
Yep, here we go. Ravens on offense. Waskins, new position with the sniper. Catches Arstes. Keeps him on no kills for this round at least. An ambitious position to be in. Scraps, peeks up. Takes care of the other half of the twins. Now it's going to be a 5-on-3. Envoy looking to level the playing field with this very, very deep flank. Shawnee, great job. Sniffs it out. Keeps the defensive line safe. Formal now backs him up. Quick trade out. But again, it's a 4 versus 2. The damage may have already been done. However, T2P. They've managed to pinch the Ravens in. Can they make something of this? Formal with a Hail Mary nade from over the top, but not enough to get it done. Scump loses his 1v1. Ravens bounce back 3-2.
Yeah, it's always a frustrating corner to run through here, as you're going to see it from the point of view of Zero. So easy to catch Formal off guard. Formal's nade did connect there, and like you said, Scump lost that 1v1, but as we see another round go in favor of the Ravens here. They're, of course, trying to tie this series up. If you missed it, you missed a great map number 1 here, but the Huntsmen did, in fact, take that. They were most certainly the better team and led pretty much every single moment of that. Ossie's got blooded from Wuskin, I think not for the first time in this map, so he might be playing a little bit more hesitant here.
Still in, Scump. Going for the re-challenge. Steenie backs him up through mid. Great job to take care of Dylan. Huntsman now moving that bomb through middle of the map once again. And Prestini's just opening up so many avenues for him, and oh boy, what a 1v1 that was against Scraps. That was a huge win. He did not have the right to get that one, but he really did. Still, man advantage going to the Huntsman. But what a play that was to open this one up.
Yeah, it was just a gunfight. You really didn't have any chance in. Somehow pulled it out the bag. Shawnee's going to shut down one and keep himself alive. Crucial play from Shawnee there, as it is now a 3v3. RC's has actually pulled out the sniper as well, maybe getting a little fed up of Wuskin.
Well, there's no one at home at A. Wuskin's going to have to backpedal somewhat, but again, I think the Ravens are expecting this to stick at B.
Wait,
they've been trained.
I think Formal only has 8 bullets in his M4, which isn't great. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure he can manage. He's a great assault rifle player, but he'll be looking for that replenish ammo. Ortiz is going to feel the wrath of Wuskin once again.
Bomb does go down. Scump, if he moves, he's in trouble. Ooh, he could have smelled the 50 cal just roar past him there. Still 3v2. Now on the retake. The Ravens making their way forward. Scump's holding the box.
See if Formal did collect any ammo. Scump's got plenty of it. Formal known to spray a little bit there. Wuskin's going to get tagged up. Zero's going to shut him down. It is all up to Formal. Only 8 bullets.
What a nade.
What a grenade.
A stick. No, sadly not. EOD will keep Zero alive for now. And the defuse does come through. The Ravens with a very, very strong win on the retake there. Fantastic use of utility. The shot's not necessarily there from Wuskins, but as a team effort, very cool, calm in what could have been a very dire situation with T2P at the helm.
Yeah, could have gotten very different by all means. I think the snipe from Wuskin onto Arstees again just opened it up so much. Wuskin was just a nuisance. And Arstees, I'm sure the frustration is setting in. But a world champion in his own rights, I'm sure, will be able to shake it off and get right back into round number 7 here.
I think it's National Brothers Day today, Phil.
Really?
Can you believe that? I might need to Google that one.
Makes me a terrible brother.
Production team have let me know. I'm waiting for the call from my sister. That ain't arrived yet. Hello! One half of the brothers takes out the other. Pristini will not be in this round. London with an interesting push here. Waskins moving the snipe to the far side of the B site. Still holding mid. That's where all the action goes down. It's both teams. No one wants to really make a move just yet. 52 seconds left on the clock. You have to make a decision. London may have a man advantage, but they will lose the round if they do not make a play on the bomb, if they do not eliminate all of the Huntsman members.
I'm just trying to hold full angles here. Trench is completely clear for now. Well, here come the Ravens.
Yeah.
Dead silence been popped by Scraps.
He's in.
Could catch Scump off guard. He'll find him, finish him, and he will not be traded. Player up near the brick wall does not find Scraps, and that's now a 5v3, 20 seconds left on the clock here. Plant is going to go down. We've seen some crazy nades go through from Formal before, but it's not going to connect this time around. No grenade thrown. Arstees is up top sniping, trying to take a page out of Wuskin's book, but as the smoke goes down, Formal finds the head of Dylan. Quick reload as he's back at it. There's one player down at the trench. Envoy might actually just go over the top of him. Envoy finds one, and now the 3v5 is a 3v3. Scrap finds one. Envoy denies him as well. It is all up to Envoy against Zero and Wuskins, but the time is against him. And he is going to fall there. The London Royal Ravens find a 5th round.
That's
mad. Wow, that just kind of all fell apart there.
It did, man. It looks so good. I thought Huntsman in great spots to make this work. The Ravens' trap was set. They sprung it handedly. That's going to be map point to take the search and destroy. One more round all London needs. Huntsman have to turn this around now. They want to maintain that lead here in the Seattle home series finals. It's going to be an offensive round that they may be able to do it on. Arstees still yet to find that kill here in this very tense Arcloth Peach search and destroy. Still running the AX50, I'd imagine. Yeah, here we go, hoping to find something.
Still going for it.
He's going to find something. Uh-oh, he's got to find something pretty quick. His teammates are starting to drop all around him. London have just hit the gas on this final round, and there it is, the nade onto Shawnee.
Again, just to remind you guys going into this one, Chicago's Arcloth Peach Search and Destroy 4-1, only losing to Dallas. They took down Dallas, Florida, New York, and Paris, but they had never played the Ravens on it. And it feels like they've met their match here, but as 2-4 for the Ravens, it's a 3v3 now. Formal is going to go down. Arstees has found his first kill. Maybe, just maybe, it's the first of many. If he can turn this around. Zero catches one off guard. Envoy is going to fall, and it's all up to Arstees here. Last alive. I think they know his location as well.
They've got an idea, and there it is. The Royal Ravens strike back 6-2 on Arcloth Peak. They're going to tie the series up 1-1 after what was a very, very dominating performance there in the Search and Destroy.
And again, when you talk about the Ravens and their S&D, they've closed out 2 Game 5s already in this tournament, winning another Search and Destroy here against a very strong Huntsman. It's an impressive feat there. Scraps hits double digits at 10 and 6 to end things. But again, going into the next map, I'm sure we'll touch on a little bit. Domination, certainly not their best game mode, Miles.
Wow, but what a series we have on our hands already. 1-1, I think a lot of people expected this to be a 3-0 Huntsman finish, but it's not over yet. Rolling into the domination just a moment, and Phil, it's not like we thought this was going to be a blowout. I mean, I don't really know what I expected at this point. I have to check my bracket, because I think in my bracket, I won't say it. I'm going to whip it out at the end and see how correct I was. But great series so far. Fantastic home series finals. So what we've got in our hands. And we're going to have a look at our Grubhub picks of the day in just a moment. And I wonder who you have, Phil. I wonder, because you tend to do this a little later in the day, especially on the Sundays, you cheating scumbag. But you can see the brothers versus brothers
Miles,
KD on
just
screen
because
there.
my picks have been absolutely flawless in Slasher in yesterday and Alex day 1. Don't start throwing around that. I picked Dylan. Dylan for me was exceptional yesterday, and I think going forward he was one which can be that difference maker in really being incredible. He was great in the first series. I'll obviously get into the final, but honestly, it doesn't matter. It's all about this final right here. Dylan's played all right for sure in the the hard point, the search and destroy.
Right.
But moving forward, maybe he is the X factor. I don't think my pick of the day is the best at the moment. But Miles, you're in for Prestini.
Yeah, I went for Prestini. I think he's had a huge impact on the squad. I think he's bringing a lot of fantastic vibes to the squad. I think his pace being set is wonderful. I think Prestini's an incredible addition, and that's why he's my Grubhub pick of the day. It's not just about the KDs, baby. It's about everything in between, them intangibles. But let's talk about something a little bit more tangible now while we get ready for our next matchup, Phil. What did you get for lunch, brother? You know the drill.
I've had a couple of things. I've sent a few photos in. I'm not 100% sure of exactly what they're going to use because I like to give a little bit of content. I like to, you know, throw them a few choices. Some of the pictures might not be usable. You know, I eat more than a human should. I'll be completely honest. But, Miles, I do like to dabble in a burger or a hamburger or two.
Oh my god, well, you did order a lot of burgers, my man. That seems like too much. I'm disgusted. I think when you sent it to me first, I was like, you're disgusting, Phil. That's way too much for a single dude to eat, but you put them away easily. Mate, I went straight back to the same spot. I'm not going to lie, I went very boring. I went exactly back to Tano Sushi. I love that place. It was great. I got a slightly different order, and I took quite a provocative image. I was on the floor stretching, and my wife said, hey, can we take a photo of the food? And I was like, why? And then I remembered it's my job. So I brought my head up and we dealt with that one, but it was absolutely delicious. Again, massive love to Grubhub. Do what you can to keep small businesses together. But here we go. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, it's going to be domination here in the Seattle Home Series Finals.
Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day with the #1 brand in prepaid. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Dylan, he's too bloody strong. One of the best players in the world.
Again, Straps has got his number. Beautiful read from Luskin.
Ladies and gents, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are gearing up for map number 3 here in the Seattle Home Series Finals. London Royal Ravens going up against the Chicago Huntsmen. And so far, the series is tied up 1-1. This is going to be a good one, Phil. We called it to begin with, and so far, so good. That's been the day so far. CDL Game Day, of course, presented by Game Fuel, is going to be your finals in progress. Ravens versus Huntsmen if you've just joined us. And if you're watching on the website, just let me know where you're at on the drops. I'm about to get my Paris Legion emblem I will be flexing very hard in Warzone after their big win. Again, props to them for getting that one. Still don't know how that worked out, but I love it. Warzone Wednesdays, Warzone, excuse me, weekends. More of those to come, I hope. We have got a US Army tactical player coming up in just a moment as well. And again, Phil, a lot to choose from in that round, but I think we are going to be rocking and rolling with those beautiful snipes from Waskins, mate.
Yeah, and you honestly could have had a collection of them, a couple of them onto Arstees as well, many a time, and that could be kind of chosen as the difference maker. But Wuskin just finds himself in the right positions at the right time, and I think that comes not by luck, but by patience, practice, and everything in between as well. But he just seemed to find one, maybe two of each round. But the first couple of rounds, or one of the first rounds, he actually found three, which really just separated Ravens apart from Chicago. Of course, Chicago had the absolute blowout of round number 1, but since then, we saw Wuskin with that HDR, of course, coming through and being very, very important for the London Royal Ravens. And it's all tied up now, Miles, and this was the one thing that I wanted. I just wanted a close game. We had a 3-2 to start the day. We had a 3-1. A Huntsman over Subliners, and now we are guaranteed that map 4. I wouldn't be surprised to see a map 5 between these two teams, and it really is the battle of two beast teams here. Excited to see how the Dom goes down.
Dom's about to get underway. I keep thinking back to that snipe, man. Waskin hit 1 snipe in that round, and it really made the difference. He missed like 3 on Scump after that, but it did allow his boys to hit the wrap and managed to put pressure on that site. Alas, I digress. Time to get into the domination here on Gunrunner. And again, the KD favoring the Chicago Huntsmen going into this map. Royal Ravens on the back foot. Going to be grabbing C, preferable side. They make their way in towards B. Looks like a 3-man hit from the Huntsmen straight in towards B. Going through the middle is actually going to be the Ravens. Let's see if this pays off from no one really pressuring B side.
Yeah, and again, a nice little start here coming out of... well, I mean, both sides coming off the bat here as we jump into it. And C and A going respectively for those home teams. One thing I always try to keep my eye out in the bottom side of the mini-map is who's pushing through this forest and who's kind of putting the pressure on that home flag first. And it looks like this time around it is going to be Dylan. He's going to be penalized for that and punished here as he's put 6 feet under. But B hasn't changed hands yet. It could be the Huntsman's to grab.
Yeah, still trying to make that pressure in towards A. Try to flip him out. London pretty trapped right now as Envoy starting to put his hands around the throats of the Ravens. I think it's about time we go for a very quick Astro Gaming listen in with the Chicago Huntsmen.
Coast in the smoke, coast in the smoke.
No, there's pipes. Dead.
One your mid, Seth.
Pipes, sweet, Shawnee. He's going pipe side.
I'm point, Wuskin. I'm point, Wuskin.
I'm gonna flick water. I need help in B. Yeah, I'm trying.
Nothing pipes.
Yo, he's middle checks. He's going water ramp. Yo, fast B. Dead. Another one. I'm naded.
Watch out, should be dead.
Dead.
That's one here.
Lockers.
P30, one shot. Door dead. There's two on B, guys. I'm coming back P3.
Push up
P3.
Two push up P3.
I'm going P3 shot. There's more P3 Dylan.
I need P3.
He's to your left,
He's hurt.
Yeah, I need him. He's P3 Dylan.
We're going in. You want pipe? Yeah, you want pipe? Let's go see it.
Go see it.
I see it, yeah.
City pipes.
We're gonna be stacked.
I have pipes. Let's go.
No in their middle tracks. 1 second.
Yo, I got 1 boxes.
Go back to point.
No, P3.
I'm helping you.
He's crossing middle tracks.
There's
20 walkers.
I spawned forest.
One short of me?
I'm coming. We're spawning back right A.
I'll be back.
Short, absolute short.
I'm trying
to get P3.
I'm going to C. I'm going to C.
Hitting on top of the train. He's going on top of the train. We're back. I'm
going B with you.
Remember how short we had 2 flags in this game? Like, has anyone touched C since the opening start?
It's been a very odd domination and see team kills coming out of Envoy there as well. Not what you want to see. But again, it just seems a low-scoring one. And again, when you have 2 teams that are, you know, head-to-head, neck and neck, and 2 very skilled teams, sometimes it's hard to jump on. But Dylan, find himself a triple there as he spins around. Will finally go down to Arstees, but Dylan finding the multi-kill there, and the Ravens are going to find themselves B and C. And with 2 minutes left on the clock, this is maybe a chance just to put themselves in a strong position going into side number 2.
Yeah, just coming up on it. Like a 10-point lead that almost got here, and so far Shawnee trying to make that pressure in towards B on the defense. Not going to happen anymore, but he does have Dylan to back him up. Dylan has been pretty disgusting so far. This goes without saying. The competition fearing the Sanderson right now. He was terrifying on Black Ops 4. The form we saw him hit there really astronomical numbers, but he's starting to climb there. 10 and 5 so far as he tries to make C neutral. Not quite going to happen as Waskin loses his fight in towards B. Now we're going to see the Huntsmen apply pressure to that B flag. Potential here for a trap. As the Ravens spawning top right of the map, they're going to have to do what they can now to punch through, grab C, get these players off B as well.
Yeah, they've actually, Huntsmen have done very, very well here. Just look at the two players rushing towards the cargo containers, going over to defend C. It looks like they're fine with the last minute and a half just to try and defend these two home flags. You see Ravens jumping on and off it, trying to almost lure out the Huntsmen. The Huntsmen are not going to fall for it. Formal is going to find two. A and C will remain in the hands of Huntsmen. Now pushing forwards towards B, it's going to be Prestini trying to neutralize, going for something a little special. And a minute ago, Miles, I was saying how Ravens could really walk away with this first half. It looks like Huntsmen have nullified everything about that, as we do see C changing hands for a short minute, but it is still in the hands of a Huntsman. I'm looking at that money map. I'm back from B to C to so much action. It's hard to keep up with, but Miles, what a close game we've got in our hands right now, as we are seeing just a 5-point difference.
Yeah, it's constant trades. Constant kill trades on point. C finally going to be going into the hands of the Ravens. 25 seconds remaining here. We have to see a little bit of play coming out Chicago onto the point, otherwise we'll be going into the second half with not a huge deficit. But look, Dominate, crazier things have happened, particularly in the later stages of Modern Warfare. We're seeing these insane domination games, and Gunrun has been host to a few of them. Last few seconds here, the Ravens really start to pull away. Going into that next half with a very, very slight lead. Nothing crazy, but we will see the Ravens on the A side. Huntsmen go to C.
Yeah, I mean, a 6-point difference between two top teams here. Not something too much of a surprise. Again, it's very interesting. Sometimes you'll see one side be so dominant by a team and then the complete opposite when it comes to gun domination. Again, that's due to your setups, but I feel both teams were breaking each other's setups time and time again there, but Huntsmen did hold A and C very, very well. Now, as we get into this second side, again, small leads can mean the biggest of differences. Again, 6 points for the Ravens as Huntsmen now will secure C, and judging by that minimap, it looks like a push towards potentially A here as B will be uncontested for the start.
Envoy, Scum, cutting right through pipes. Trying to apply some pressure on a B. Bit of the bait and switch. Trades come through. Formal applies the reinforcements a little bit late, but he does get the kills. Now Dylan, in and out of the pillars he goes. Somehow finds that first kill. Somehow keeps trying, man. I mean, you have to find the silver bullet to bring down Dylan at this point in time. Pressure in towards B still, as the Ravens will not let it go just yet.
So far, so good for the Huntsmen here. 82 and climbing, trying to change that lead in their way, swing it in their favor. Long shots coming out of Formal there. He's ran out of ammo again. This is an often problem for Formal, and that's what happens when you stay alive for so long. But the knife comes out, finds himself in a world of trouble, just thinks, I know, I'll try and help my team by chucking a trophy down. Didn't manage to get it out, but it is all tied up at 88 apiece here. Huntsmen do take the lead. The slaying power as well for Formal and Arsetes. These guys have been going off so far, 14 and 15 for these guys, as Envoy finds himself a nice double, and that certainly does open B.
Yeah, disgusting stuff from the slaying department. 16 and 8 Formal, 14 and 8 for Arsetes. Crazy stuff as they try to maintain this position on B and C. It's going to be a forest push now, a very aggressive one from the Ravens trying to get out, but Scumpy says no. Scumpy says no, thank you, nades go up. Shawnee's up next on the hit list, and he's holding down mid-map basically alone right now. A few of the Ravens have slipped through. Scump now can just wrap on through to A, still apply pressure if he wants on mid-map, and he's just keeping those comms flowing. Huntsmen take the lead, starting to walk away with this one.
See Scump go down. Envoy falls as well there. 11 and 14 for Envoy. Prestini 11 and 17. The interactions are there, but I'm sure he'd want a few more kills. Looking at that minimap, and a good use of that. Shout out to our observers here as B is flooded there by the London Royal Ravens. It is nullified by Prestini's Semtex, as we do see the neutralization come through. It's not going to be anything more than that, but again, a 13-point lead here as the time does tick away. Every single second is going to favor the Huntsmen right now.
Yeah, B is neutral, so no points garnered from either side there. Gotta make sure that no one gets through mid-0. He's a little bit late to that one, but he's going to catch Envoy, but there's still members of the Huntsmen who have already made it through. Arsetes locks down that forest side of the map, makes it safe. Still, the battle for B flag rages. Here comes a quick secure now from the Huntsmen. Or from the Ravens, rather, as the Huntsmen line up there for the pinch. I was going to say, Formal on the outside there by Lockers, trying to get a kill on the inside. Now they go towards A. Huntsmen trying to bring the attention there. Arsetes just about wins the fight against Dylan. And here we go. The A flag neutral at the very least. Scump leading the charge there.
Right now, we do see the Huntsmen leading by just around 10 points. We've got 2 minutes left on the clock. Plenty of time for each team to take this lead and run away with it. A and C now back in the hands of the Huntsmen here. And again, you start to look at that mini-map and C might be changing hands. Number 5 is Prestini actually pushing forward, trying to guard that. And they'll be looking for Zero potentially. The Zero does push on through. He's not going to go for that home flag. He's actually going to try and flip these spawns around, it seems.
Going the long way, man. And Formal was aware of the spawns there towards the top right-hand side of the map as well when you saw that big change come through. And Arstees just cuts that play out. Zero spent so much time making the run, not able to get anything done there. Shawnee's going to be trying to fill that position, but Arstees again, quick reposition now towards A. He's got to win this 1v1. His teammates are going to be spawning up behind him, so the Ravens need to win the fight on B, which they're not. This is going to be a solid looking hold of the map for the time being for the Huntsmen. Envoy on the quick reinforce. Tags in on B. He's still made safe there. Huntsman can keep smiling. 1:10 left on the clock. About a 20-point lead.
Yeah, and this 20-point lead is enough for the Huntsman right now. What a way to redeem yourself. Let's just give a shout out to Arstees here. A poor performance in the search and destroy, but he's absolutely lit it up here on Gunrunner hardpoint. 146 plays 130. 2 flags to the good for the Ravens. But as it stands right now, they are going to need to potentially push a little further. Maybe go for a neutralization. Dylan, smoke's going down. He's going to clear his own flag, push on through, trying to seek out. The kills are going their way, but they've got to act. They've got to get towards A. They've got to make their move, and you're going to see the Huntsmen digging their heels potentially here.
Yeah, that was disgusting from us. He's not letting that kill go down. Zero's trying to make something happen on B still. But you're right, they have to go for a neutral on A. Huntsmen, they've got this map right now, 152 to 144. You're going to keep those flags going. They're on A for the now. Can they get the neutral? Scump wins the 2, and that was big. Still Zero's there to try to get the final moments. The spawns for the Huntsmen so close to the A flag. Neutralizing C as well. Wuskin wins the 1v1 as well. Final 10 seconds. Is anyone in a position to make this happen? They're going to get A back now. There's still a contest on A. 4 seconds.
They need the neutral. They need the neutral. With 2 seconds left, 154 to 152. We see the cap come through for the Huntsmen. And the Huntsmen get 1 point off their home flag. And again, clutch up in just 1 point. That neutralization was so important for the Ravens. But my goodness, it all comes down to just 1 point, and the time was ticking away. Huntsmen come out on top.
Oh boy. Can you imagine the comms from both teams in those dying seconds of the game? Okay, that was insane.
You could kind of almost see it coming. There was a very smart play. Prestini pushes train tracks and actually neutralizes, goes for the neutralization. Wuskin purposely basically sat in his spawn and said, you know what? They're going to try and rotate. They're going to try and get our home flag. I'll stick it out here. You guys go for it. That part of the plan works out. But just to kind of re-watch back, of course, the actual breakdown of this. Prestini here, this is where he was going for the neutralization. Wuskin shuts him down, which is great. And with 10 seconds left and 3 points between the two teams, this is most certainly doable at this very minute. London Royal Ravens needed to keep this home flag neutral, but they were simply unable to do that. The Huntsmen grab it back in the nick of time, which actually just gives them the 1 point that they need. Yeah. Otherwise, it potentially could have been a draw or a loss for the Huntsmen.
Yeah, if it was Envoy on the flag, trying to make something happen there, Scump gets those final kills. If they don't get those kills and they don't save the flag, Ravens win it by maybe 1 point in the final seconds there. That was ridiculous. I mean, for it to come down to that, we've seen a few of those now on Gunrunner. I worried that this was going to be a crazy one, and it really, really was. Oh boy, what a fantastic map that was. Quick look at the stats as we now go into map number 4. Huntsmen on match point. 1 more map's all they need, but wow, Phil, what a crazy domination to finish that one up.
Yeah, shout out to Arstees again. He had a poor S&D. I'm sure he'll say that himself. But 24 and 12 with 5 flag caps. He was fantastic in that domination. I think he was a big difference maker for them. Huntsmen outslayed them, simply. And again, potentially should have won by more. But when all said and done, we have a series on our hands. It is currently 2-1 to the Huntsmen. And again, if you're looking at the history of this tournament itself, Huntsmen don't let things go past map number 4. So They'll be looking to close this out in the next hard point. I do, of course, want to check out what that map is and how the stats line up. I'll do that very shortly. Yeah, but again, Huntsmen, this is where they put the nail in the coffin, usually in a series.
Yeah, the writing's on the wall right now for Huntsmen. No one's got past this map. No one has beat them in map number 4. So looking to close it out here. Getting to that map 5, not a good look so far if you think of the way the last Search and Destroy on Arklov went, and against a Gunrunner Search and Destroy to end the series. Who knows, man? We'll see how this goes. But again, we're closing in on a very, very excited finish. But before we get into the next match, let's have a quick look at the Challenger Cups information. Again, if you're not aware of what's going on with Challengers, there is a chance for amateur players to obviously get involved in the CDL again. It was like this before COVID. We're just doing it all online now. And again, 5 online events with a combined prize purse of $250,000. That is a solid chunk of change. There's a dedicated Sunday broadcast as well. I know that was a massive consideration that a lot of fans wanted. And of course, they're being handled wonderfully. And again, we're really, really enjoying the show. It's just tons of COD action, whether you're in the 2v2 brought to you by the US Air Force or in Challengers Cups. There's quite frankly something for everyone. Seattle Surge home series opens this weekend across all regions. And I think if you check Twitter, you may be able to see some of those results come through. Very, very exciting stuff. But get onto callofdutyleague.com/challenges for more information. Momo, you've been delving into the stats. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I mean, in regards to this series, it's kind of gone as expected. I didn't expect this to really be a 3-0. The one kind of map out of the first couple, which I did expect maybe the Ravens State would be the Search and Destroy, but the hard point looked good for Huntsmen. They led from the get-go, and they closed that out with probably, I think, the largest gap between 60, 70 points. That domination, though, definitely didn't expect that, and I wouldn't have guessed that in a million years. But it did look like a strong domination for Huntsmen. Now we start to head on over to Hackney Yard, which, of course, for the Ravens, again, numbers don't favor them, but the Huntsmen just kind of ruled them on numbers. But when it comes down to a final like this, sometimes you've got to chuck those numbers out the window. But for Hackney Yard Hardpoint, Chicago currently sit 4-2. They've lost to Florida, beat New York twice, split it with Paris, and took down Toronto. The important thing is they've not played each other on this map and mode. But as we get into this one and the time starts to tick away, as we head to the warehouse, first couple of points are going to go the Huntsman's way. Honestly, I'm really keen to see how Arstees plays in this. He's gone from a poor S&D to a fantastic Dom. Let's see if he can continue.
Great start in the kills department there for the Chicago Huntsmen. And you talked about finals. The finals are no unfamiliar territory for the Huntsmen. Everyone on that roster, a champion in their own right, world champion, aside from Otwood. But who knows? He's got a chance to get there towards the end of the year. While Ravens, on the other hand, not a lot of finalists there. Zero, the only player to have won something all the way back on Infinite Warfare. It's been quite some time since they've tasted victory, but here we go. Solid starts, as they say, for the Huntsmen. Control of the right-hand side of the map, and the battle raging there on the hardpoint. Final 10, likely to go the way of the Ravens, unless these two players have their way with them, and they will scrap answers back. But again, it's the spawns on the right-hand side. That's what you want to be looking for now, going into the dreaded tire shop.
Yeah, the dreaded tire shop. I like the way you put that one, Miles. It's sometimes a hard one to break, to say the least. But as we jump on board with Dylan, and his dead silence has been popped, only finds one before falling to Formal, as Formal will reclaim that tile up top. Scraps trying to find a player down low, isn't going to work out. And again, the Ravens, it almost feels like you're headbutting a wall sometimes, a green wall to be specific, as we push forward here into the tire shop. But Huntsmen, they retake the lead with 35 seconds.
At the moment, it's a very different shade of green these days, but you see Huntsmen now starting to walk away with this one. Again, tire shop assault is underway. Let's have a quick Astro Gaming listen in with the London Royal Ravens.
Yeah, one more pushing now. One more pushing, please start going on. Tires. Low tires. Nice, nice. Right, fire car. I'm gonna stop Scar. He's gonna be faultless. Nice. Go, by the way.
I'm top P5.
He's by the way. Done, damn.
I'm through. He's dead by the bridge. I'm out. Everyone chill.
Okay, man. Yeah, man in P1. Man is in P1. Show us going so nice, boys. Good shit.
One green, there's one in green. Start.
You wanna throw your shit at the hill?
Yeah, one green.
I'm waiting, by the way, guys. I'm waiting.
One's front on the bounce as well. Play down mid, he's pushed down mid crease, boys. Push mid crease. Nice, one on the hill as well.
Med downstairs,
Top L, Talon.
I'm more taking green,
You're on you're on No, second green. No, bottom green, top L as well. Scumpy's bottom green. You child L. Green door.
Give me a second.
Top L.
I'm in the back.
I need L.
Give me a second.
I'm in hill.
I get one
Top AC, I'm in hill. Corner, left. Big win.
No, help me right.
No one hold on.
Make sure we get in.
Green door.
Comms there from the Royal Ravens. I would love to know if anybody turned on YouTube's automatic subtitles and see what it sounded like there. That would have been great. But still, Chicago Huntsmen looking to close out this finals with an aggressive push right now into the bottom office. The kill feed has been nothing but Huntsman green as they have mowed their way through the bottom of the map. London do not seem to have an answer, Momo, for anything the Huntsmen have got.
Yeah, it just seemed a little chaotic, and we kind of talked about it as the in-game comms kind of bled out there. But, you know, that is kind of the London way, or, you know, the way that they speak to each other. But sometimes it just felt like it was a little out of control, and almost that they just weren't picking up the kills. You saw them trying to obviously find themselves some hard point time. It doesn't work out, but as we jump on board with them here, they're in the hard point with plenty of time, contesting, and the kill feed looks a little bit more even, maybe a little bit more blue, as we see Shawnee Scraps finding 3 in a row. Envoy, Prestini, and Scump do fall. And when all said and done, Miles, we have a very close game on our hands. Not quite domination close as of just yet, but with 15 seconds, it's going to be very closely tied up.
Yeah. Hackney Yard is an unforgiving hardpoint map. Zero has a serious task ahead of him now. The entirety of the Huntsmen now making their way forward. Scump's going to get the kill upstairs. Now they have to hold on and take care of this push now from the Ravens. Zero is the only player to actually make his way across to the next hardpoint by the docks building. So it's going to be a tough break. You need to funnel through, try to get these kills. RST's on a high ground position. He's going to be able to rip these players up before they can even get close to his teammates. As he finds his 3rd in a row, Scump's going to get one down low. And this is just a great hold from the Huntsman. You thought the tire shot was bad. I mean, this is the stuff of nightmares.
You know you've got a strong hold when you're sat there, you're wiggling, you're thinking, where are they? Why aren't they pushing? And the reason why aren't they pushing is they're waiting to regroup because they're spawned so far out, because all of them have gone down. It's a free 15, 20 points there for the Huntsmen, uncontested. Arstees, I talked about him at the start of this and seen how he would go on from the S&D. Again, poor S&D, fantastic Dom, continuing that fantastic form in the finals here for potentially the last map there. 13-8 here. Scump 16-9. He's a player which really does kind of turn up on the championship day that is today. Finding number 17 there as he takes down Wuskin.
Yeah, this is when you start to see the championship caliber squad that is the Huntsmen really come to life. Uncontested hardpoints. Absolutely rock solid holds, and now we're going to see what the break looks like. When London get the first hold of the hard point, how will the Huntsmen respond? Scump trying to find his way in through the front, can't quite get anything done. They're still trying to battle for spawns on the right as well, so they can let this hard point time go while they try to put their plans into action. Prestini through smoke, and again still trying to put pressure on the right hand side of the map. The Ravens shoulder to shoulder, trying to stop anything come down. Prestini is going to be sniffed out there by those nades. Actually don't land and hit their mark. He will go down. And now the Ravens can breathe a small sigh of relief while they focus their attention towards the hard point with Dylan's nice 2.
Yeah, Dylan finding a nice double there, just kind of keeping the pressure off Zero. Weirdly on a bit of a flank top L, and he's going to find himself going down. But interesting enough, more importantly, I want to look at number 4. Number 4 is behind enemy lines at this point. It's none other than Scump, and the London Royal Ravens are pushing out, and they're thinking, yeah, all good in the hood. Nuh-uh, not today, Scump. The king is back, and here he is, reigning supreme up top, leading the line by 55 points, and now the nuisance that is Scump is just making a tear. 20-11. We said that he turns up on a championship Sunday. Scump finds 3 in a row. Can he jump out the window? Doesn't need to. 4 in a row. Scump going on a massive tear, and it's just led the line for the Huntsmen to get into the tire shop, and that could be the difference maker here in the finals of the Seattle home series. My goodness, Chicago, they are locked to Scump right now, but they've all just been taken down.
The break is done. The Ravens are going to get the Ravens have got in there. Wild stuff from Scumpy, but it doesn't matter in the end. Ravens hold the hard point. 30 seconds here to work with. Again, rotations going down. You see map presence really being felt. Number 9, Zero's trying to once again hit those rotates. He's been playing that role for his team all tournament long. Still 3 members of the Huntsmen trying to hit the bottom here of the hard point. One's going to be coming through the windows. RST goes down. Dylan's going to hold it. Can't quite get the kill on the stairs. And now a few more moments go the way of the Huntsmen. Wuskins can't win the fight against Formal in that AR on AR battle. And here we go. Back towards Chimney Stacks, dead center of the map. Very, very open position. This was a very good hold for the Huntsmen in the first rotation.
Yeah, it really was. A 50-point lead now for the Huntsmen, and I'm getting flashbacks, Miles, of map number 1, where there's always a lead for the Huntsmen. Whether it's 10, 15, 20, 50, there's just a constant lead for them, and the Royal Ravens, they are chasing. And again, sometimes they claw away at it, but they never take that lead, and I feel like that's what they need. They need to get back in this game, but with 40 seconds still here on the smokestack hard point, Huntsmen are in control. They're broke 200. They're making it towards 210. Wuskin, Dylan, and Scraps They're going big. They're finding kills in the kill feed, but is it going to be enough? Scump finds another 2-piece here. I think he's just absolutely slaying out of his mind right now on Hackney.
Yeah, Ravens spawning to the left of the hard point. Might not be enough. Arsty's here now in Pristini, making their way towards next hard point. Pristini's going to win those kills with the players on rotation, wins his gunfight. His teammates are going to clean the rest of them up. The Huntsmen have got this map locked down. Hackney Yard may be in London, but right now, it's Chi-Town, baby. They are not letting this go. Again, the push now from the rear, from the Huntsmen. They can hold on to the top side. The Ravens trying to make the entries, but the kill feed is just pure Huntsman, man. It's disgusting.
Yeah, the Huntsmen are absolutely tearing this one. And going into the Seattle home series, a lot of people doubted them. People looked at Minnesota, New York, Seattle themselves, even everyone in between. But the Huntsmen reign supreme as only 2 points is needed. It is gonna go to the Huntsmen, and they are the champions today.
That band of brothers reunited. The Huntsmen get it done. They will be your Seattle home series finals champions. It was a hard-fought run from London to get there, but at the end of the day, business was business, and it was another day in the office there for Chicago. 30 in the end for Arcetes, 14 deaths to his name. Scump with 31 and 16. I mean, you cannot ask for more in a grand finals from those players. Look at Scumpy losing his mind. That's what you want to see. Pure passion back on top.
I mean, when you have Scump and Arcetes that are combined, what was that? 61 and 30 between them at 2.0, and again, it just seems like the Huntsman. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Scump. He is screaming and shouting. I'd love to get a listening right about now, but the Huntsmen take home their second CDL title, and again, they match the likes of Dallas and FaZe. The talk of the town right now is Huntsmen.
What a debut for Pristini. Your first event on the main roster. You get a win here in the Seattle home series. That only bodes well. There may be questions about his stats going into this, maybe questions about his decisions, and scrutiny would have been tremendous, would have been through the roof. But the results speak for themselves. What a way to get it done. No one takes Chicago to game 5. No one got there. 3-1 again. This really was their event, man. It really, really was. Again, that band of brothers put back together. The twins reunited, and right now we've got the winning twins in the form of the Sandersons. I mean, that is it's disgusting. That was a disgusting performance. I mean, whoops, almost not a backdrop. It was huge from start to finish. It's formal, playing out of his mind, and in that final map, Phil, we saw the return of the king. We saw Scumpy going wild. Great series.
Yeah, we really did, and we highlighted that around the tire shop and how good he was on that. But again, just kind of looking at the bigger picture, these guys shut everyone down in 4. They didn't let it go to a final and 5th map, and I think that shows a lot just in the Huntsman's mentality as well, and what Pristini has kind of brought to this team. But seeing Scump back to his best, and again, just the consistency of Formal. Formal was not a name I was screaming throughout that whole series, but he was certainly not going negative, certainly not being a detriment to the team. He was right there with them. He just wasn't the shining star, if you like. A lot of respect for Arcetes after having a pretty on kill at the very dying moment of it.
Destroy. I may have just lost you.
What he does, what he does is just kind of turn things around. I was talking about Arcetes, and again, from a pretty abysmal search and destroy, picking up just 1 kill in the final round, to having a lights out domination, a lights out hard point. Credit to him for really just regaining.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Nonetheless, our Scuff player of the game is coming up in just a moment. It is, of course, going to be that rampage that Scumpy went on top of the tire shop, man. I mean, whether he was there first, he managed to get those opening kills on Dylan, looking to rotate early. He wiped his way through the entire roster of the Royal Ravens single-handedly. Scump absolutely fired up. I saw a tweet from him today saying, I'm going to turn the lights off because I wanted to feel more like an event from home. Man, it really felt like an event from here. We saw him screaming in the aftermatch, and these kills just kept on coming. He went on an absolute tear and finished the match with 31 and the win there. Your Seattle home series final champions, again, the Huntsmen. If you just joined us, check the VODs. What a run it was.
Yeah, it was certainly an eventful event here. Again, we had so much new stuff introducing, whether it was, you know, being able to build your own bracket. I'm sure you guys will be tweeting us all your perfect brackets, because you guys on social media, some of you have it pretty spot on. Mine went to went down the drain, shall we say, in day number 2. But I tell you what, if you had your bracket perfect, fantastic. If you got yourself some drops, great. If you enjoyed the Warzone, even better. And if you're a Huntsman fan, congratulations. If you're a Huntsman player, even more so. That was a very strong show in 3-1 Legion, 3-0 Røkkr, 3-1 Subliners, and 3-1 Ravens. They absolutely shut it down. I think a lot of people will now be talking about what happens when the new Huntsmen face off against the likes of Dallas and FaZe.
Oh, I cannot wait for that one. And I think we may have a chance to see that happen at the next home series. Phil, I want to go back to my bracket, man. I actually had this matchup. I was 1 map wrong, and I could have been correct if that domination didn't go 1 point different. That would have been ridiculous. I'd have been very pleased with that one. But a massive congratulations again to the Chicago Huntsmen. A big win, and we seriously cannot wait to see them go up against Dallas, go up against FaZe. And, they're just looking very strong, man. I mean, it was day 1. There was a couple of questions around how Pristini fit into the squad, and then when we saw what they did to the Minnesota Røkkr, that was where everyone went, okay, this is a serious team. They're going to be able to go up against anyone like this. Big surprise, London are looking very strong. To get to the finals in that way they did, and taking out OpTic LA on the way, that was a great showing from them. And then to go that close with the Huntsmen was not a bad look at again. So the tale of this event, man, of the Seattle home series has been that substitutions can work out. The biggest question, Momo, is are these honeymoon periods going to come to a crashing finish, or are they going to go on to great things?
It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. I think Huntsmen, I think they've got a lot to build, and I think OpTic, they've made changes, as is New York, and they've certainly improved. But there's a difference than improving or becoming a championship roster. These guys made a move, and they capitalized on that. We talked about it on Contesting the Point. One thing that I will bring up, I like to, of course, prove myself right, was Huntsmen, was it too early for them to make a move? And I specifically said it wasn't. I think it was time. When Pristini is available, you know, it was just something they've got to grab. Gunless is an amazing player. I'm sure he'll find his feet somewhere, but I think it was just too big of an opportunity to let that one slide. And I'm excited now for Huntsmen to see if they can go toe-to-toe with what I believe the 2 best teams in the game is FaZe and Dallas.
Definitely the 2 best teams in the league. And again, what a weekend this has been, Phil. Thank you very much for that, brother. And I think we're almost ready to roll. But man, what a weekend it has been. You touched on it before, Phil. A weekend of firsts. Obviously, the Huntsmen winning their 2nd, but it has been incredible. We have done an amazing job here. The CDL rewards. Not only did we showcase the first ever private lobby in Warzone history with Warzone weekend earlier, but right now the Call of Duty League is in beta testing for its rewards program. That's right, all viewer rewards have finally arrived. That means you can earn in-game double XP tokens and exclusive Call of Duty League team items while you enjoy the CDL action. To learn how to sign up for the program and start earning your own in-game rewards, go to callofdutyleague.com right now and don't miss out on those free in-game items. I've been doing it all day and I've been loving it. Well, that's it, friends. Your Seattle Home Series Finals is done. Congratulations again to the Huntsmen. When we come back, it's Lottie with the champs.